You start a new fitness program, buy a treadmill, but something feels off, wobbly, straining. It's not you, it's the machine. That 300 pounds limit? To be safe, you need a treadmill rated 100 pounds more than your weight. What's the reason for this gap? This gap between label and reality is why many standard treadmills feel wobbly and unstable under a heavier person. The truth is, standard treadmills are fundamentally not built for users over 300 pounds. They fail in predictable, unsafe ways. We'll expose the hidden flaws, from the motor to the frame to the industry's secrets, so you can understand the risks and choose wisely. Let's start here. Most home treadmills you'll find have a max weight of 250 to 300 pounds. For many, that's already over the limit. First failure point, the frame. Standard models lack the steel to prevent flexing. That wobble is the start of structural failure. Second point, the deck. It's usually a half-inch board. Under the impact of a 300-plus lb user, it physically bows and warps. Third problem, belt size. Shorter, narrow belts don't fit a larger frame or a natural stride, compromising your comfort and safety. Even the cushioning systems fail. They are made for lighter users and just bottom out under heavy impact, stressing your joints. But the shaking frame and hard deck are just what you can feel. The real damage is happening inside. What component suffers first? It all begins with friction. A heavier user creates massive friction between the belt and deck, forcing the motor to fight against it. This constant, high friction places an extraordinary load on the motor and its electronic controller, pushing them into the red zone. This is why motor power is key. Standard treadmills run under 3.0 continuous horsepower. That's not enough muscle for the load. Worse yet, most use DC motors that have low torque at walking speeds. For a heavier person walking, this is a critical design flaw. When a motor works that hard, it generates extreme heat. Standard models lack the cooling to dissipate it, causing component failure. One last hidden stressor, roller size. Standard machines use small 1.9-inch rollers, which increases belt tension and overworks the motor. So, what happens inside the machine? A chain reaction of friction, strain, and overheating that pushes vital parts to their breaking point. Ever step on the belt and feel it lag? That's the underpowered motor we mentioned failing to handle the load. It's a huge trip hazard. The immense friction we talked about literally grinds away the belt and deck coating, leading to premature tearing and costly repairs. Eventually, the strain leads to abrupt failure. The motor controller fries, the motor burns out, and the machine stops cold mid-workout. A broken machine is expensive, but when a treadmill fails under load, the consequences to your personal safety are far more serious. Here's the most shocking fact. There are no official, standardized industry rules for how manufacturers rate a treadmill's weight capacity. This lack of regulation leads directly to exaggerated and unreliable claims. The number on the box is marketing, not engineering. This is exactly why that 100-pound buffer rule we mentioned is so needed. It's your defense against a non-transparent industry. When you use a machine near its inflated limit, you risk catastrophic failure. Sudden stops, a cracked deck, or a frame collapse. So if the numbers are unreliable and the machines are set up to fail, what is the true, long-term cost for a user over 300 pounds? Let's connect the dots. The lack of standards allows companies to sell machines with underpowered motors for their advertised weight. Think of this cycle. A weak deck bows. This bow creates more surface friction with the belt, which then burns out the motor even faster. The true cost is a drastically shortened machine lifespan, endless repair bills, and a real risk to your safety on this failed equipment. The evidence is clear. Standard treadmills create a system of failure for heavier users. So how do you avoid this trap? To be clear, standard treadmills fail because they are an ecosystem of under-engineered parts. The frame, deck, and motor can't handle the physics. Your main takeaway is this. The weight rating on the box is not a sufficient guide. You must look at the specs that prove durability. Look for a motor of at least 3.5 chp, a deck thickness of 1 inch, large 2.5-inch rollers, and a steel frame rated 100 pounds above you. Don't let the wrong equipment undermine your health goals. Share this video to help others.